here. Example number 2 had theta over there. Now we're going to have theta down here. So what is happening again is we are starting right here. We're rotating past the positive side of the y-axis. We are now dropping below the x-axis. So our angle is way down there. Our angle stops way down here. So all of that is theta. Okay, so this is how far below it is to the y-axis. Let me connect it to the x-axis, because that's how I always find my right triangle. All right, so for problem number 3, guys, this is all I know. This is all they give us. Remember, this is on a coordinate grid. All I know is this ordered pair is -2, -2. But remember, your angles are always centered around the origin. So that -2 is actually this distance. So this is -2, and so is that. But what you're missing is your radius, which is a hypotenuse, which you're going to have to use your ABCs to figure out. All right, guys, so over here, I'm just going to redraw. I'm going to separate that right triangle. All right, remember this was a -2 right here. This was a -2. I need this value. So remember, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. What's -2 times -2? That's your a squared plus b squared, which is 4. And remember, that's c squared. But we need plane c. You got to square root that. And if there is a perfect in there, you got to take it out of that square root symbol. So remember, what 2 numbers multiply to make 8? 2 and what? 2 and what?
4.
4 is perfect. You got to take it out of that root. So 2 square root 2 equals r. Go copy that right here. Go write that down. All right, I'm going to zoom out so you can see everything. All right, 6 trig ratios. Here we go. Cosine theta, sine theta, tangent theta. Now look, what's the reciprocal for cosine? I know it starts with an S. Secant, S-E-C. What about sine? It starts with S. So what is its reciprocal? C-S-C, cosecant. That is correct. And then what's that other one that's so easy to remember? Cotangent, C-O-T. Right, remember, cosine and sine always have what in the bottom? What is always in the bottom? The hypotenuse, but now it's called the r, the radius. What goes at the top for cosine? Yep. So what does this have to be? Yes. Write that ratio for tangent. Y over x. Go flip those for the red. Flip those upside down. All right, let's hop back up to the top, guys. So for cosine, remember x was a -2. This is going to be -2 over what? What's the radius? Oh, hello, rat demon. You got a square root in the denominator. You cannot have that. Look, guys, before we talk about that rat demon, simplify these 2's. If you have a 2 on the top and the 2 on the bottom and there's no plus or minus sign, they cancel out. So this turns into -1 over root 2. Now vanquish your demon. Multiply the top and the bottom by root 2. So cosine of theta, guys, is negative root 2 over what? Yes, very good. Do you have any questions on that? Any questions? All right, next one, guys. So the sine of theta, wait, look, are the x and the y values exactly the same?
Yes.
-2 and -2. So this is going to start out as -2 over 2 root 2. But y'all, just recopy that answer. Because it's the same thing. Same values. So this is negative root 2 over 2. And then tangent. Y'all, it's y divided by x. Y and x are the same thing. What is anything divided by itself? A positive 1. So this is going to be -2 divided by -2. Y'all, that's just a 1. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at secant. So secant, the radius is on top. So 2 root 2 starts off the numerator. X is -2. That's the denominator. Guys, cross out those 2's right there. It's just going to be negative root 2. What about cosecant? What is that going to be? Same thing. Write it down.
Isn't that a -1?
Well, it was a negative divided by negative. That's an, yeah.
Oh, -2 divided by
Yeah, -2 divided by -2. Okay, so again, the radius was 2 root 2 here. Y was the same thing as x. So we ended up with negative root 2. And x divided by y, again, something divided by itself is a positive 1. We are about to wrap things up, but Victoria opened her packet and we're going to follow her. I was going to do it too. Please fill in this second column right here, and then we're going to call it quits. We're going to move on to something else. So all of these go right here.
Isn't tan supposed to be -1?
Which one?
Tan.
Tangent?
Yeah.
Well, it was -2 divided by -2. Negative divided by negative is positive.
I couldn't see the negative. It looks like it combined with.
I know, I'm sorry. Those are negatives. Okay, let's write this down.